Have you ever said something and then thought to yourself, wow, I can't believe I just said that. The words just flew out of my mouth and there they are out there like Seinfeld says in that speech bubble, and you can't take them back. You can't unsay what you've already said. I'm J Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast, and yesterday words flew out of my mouth in this morning video that I won't say they surprised me, but it was a new way of saying something that I've known for a long time, and I thought, that's really important. I should spend more time talking about just that phrase. Here's basically what I said. There's never been a moment in your life where words flew out of your mouth, potentially words that you would say, I can't believe I just said that, where those words were not first a thought inside your head. It's never happened. Never will happen. You might think that, well, I just said that in the heat of the moment. I dropped something on my foot, or somebody did something really bad to me, or they cut me off in traffic, and this vile spew of words flew out of my mouth, and I don't even know where that came from. Well, I can tell you where it came from. It came from deep in here. You've heard me say it before. I will say it over and over again. As a leadership and communications coach, I have had clients who say to me, help me write a speech that sells, and I will give their check back. I will return their credit card and refund their money, because I am not in the business, although I have a background in marketing, although I know how to do your social media marketing, although I know how to help you build your platform. That's not my calling. That's not my sole job. I am not the make you rich, get you on every stage kind of coach. That's not what I do. What I'm focused on is knowing the reality that you'll never, ever, ever squeeze a pineapple hard enough to get ketchup out of it. It's simply not in there. That same truth works the other way. Those words that are flying out of your mouth, those things that you say in the heat of the moment, under pressure, on the stage, in front of others, you're going to be held accountable for those words. And if they came out of your mouth, they started in here. They started in your heart. They started in the things that you remember, the things you recall, the things you appreciate, the things you love. And when you filter them by simply changing them for something else, maybe instead of the F word you say fruit cocktail. That substitution doesn't really change the nature of the who that you are, does it? When you're under pressure, what's already in you, that's what's going to come out. The anger, the wrath, the racism, the sexual innuendos. The truth about how you feel about other people, those are the things that are going to come out of your mouth when you're under pressure. And that may be pressure on the stage. It may be in a traffic accident. It may be when you're in an argument with somebody that you've known for a long time. And there are probably some deep-seated ideas, some metaphors, some analogies, some stories that you've heard from way back when you were a kid and you overheard your aunts and uncles talking about it, or you used to read it in the newspaper all the time, or it used to be on this show. I'll give you a perfect example. You ever seen All in the Family? Go back and watch that now and think to yourself, could he get away, Archie Bunker, could he get away with some of the stuff he said on that show in primetime television in the 50s and 60s, even into the 70s? Could he say that on a street corner today and not be beat up before he could cross the street? Chances are no. It was a different world then. The things that we tolerated then, the things that we found to be the norm then, the things that have probably been buried in your deep memories and in your heart because you heard them repeated in your home over and over and over again, they're still in you. And unless you have transformed your character, when you're put under pressure, those things might drip out. They may come out of your mouth and you might look in the mirror or look into the camera or look into the audience and go, I can't believe I just said that. But the truth of the matter is, preparing for a good speech is less about preparing the script and more about preparing the messenger. That's the kind of leadership and communications coaching that I focus on. I don't want to just make you famous. I don't want to just put you on the stage. I want to know that you lead from a heart where you can seriously care about people. Not comparing you one speaker versus another speaker. How good are you? Can you get on the stage? Can you make a bunch of money? Because we all know those leaders, those communicators whose talent and gifts went way out in front of them, they outkicked the coverage of their character. They got the opportunity. They got the big speech. They got the big contract and nailed it. Except they didn't, because every word they said was without integrity, because it wasn't really who they were. It was just a well-scripted speech. Or they nailed it, except they didn't, because they'll never be invited back, because what they called authenticity offended half the crowd. If you've ever caught yourself saying, I can't believe I just said that, understand, deep in your heart, deep in your mind, you've thought it 1,000 times over. If you don't get control of your thought life, you'll never have control of your speech life. You'll always be saying, I can't believe I just thought that. That's the time to take control. I'm J Loren Norris with Leading Leaders Podcast on Tell It Like It Is TV. Have a blessed day.